Hi everybody, welcome back to Life According to Kaylin Faith. I am Kaylin Faith, and I know it's been a long time. It's been about 2 months since I've been on here, but I am here today with a video. And before I get started into the video and the topics today, I'm going to be trying out some stuff that I got from a beauty expo this weekend here. And this first palette is by Caro Duo Beauty, and this is so beautiful. Like, look at that. It is amazing. Like, I swatched some of the colors yesterday, and like the pigments are there and they last like all day. And then I got this one. This one's by She Makeup. It's the Holiday 32 color palette. And then these are the colors. So I'm excited. And I got my nails done. Like, aren't they pretty? Like I said, this is my summer color. It's Ferrari Red by D&D. If you get your nails done, and this is the gel polish, like, love it. So today we're going to talk about something that, I've been experiencing over the last maybe few months. Since I've been gone off of YouTube for these last few months. And it's been in the area of intercession. And then to go a little deeper than just intercession, it's prophetic intercession. So we're going to talk about that while I put on some makeup. So let's go and get started. I'm going to start with a concealer that I bought from the expo as well. And it's by Amuse Professional. And it's Infinite Cover Pro Concealer Cream. And this one is in the shade Ivory. I don't know if I'm going to use this one though. It's quite bright. I got this for like when I do like a very intense eye. And like also, side note, my brother, God bless him, he was like, he came to the house one day and he was like, Kaylin, I have something to tell you. And I was like, what? And he was like, you need to do makeup on people. And I was like, no. But it's something that I've been like going back and forth with. So I was like, maybe it's a sign that I should. So I started like looking into like getting some stuff just to practice on people. And I already got some people who are already going to let me practice on them. So that's cool. But anyway, this one is the same concealer, but this one is in the shade Sepia. So it's a little bit warmer. I'm going to put that on my eyelid to start off the makeup look. We're going to start off with the Caro Beauty palette because it has more like transition colors. So I'm going to start by putting this on my eyelid. But yeah, the whole intercessor, like I've always been like somebody who would pray for somebody. And like I won't always do it right then and there. But like if somebody will ask me to pray for them, 9 times out of 10, if I don't forget, I definitely pray for them. And basically like over the last few months, especially with my job that I work at now, like I am by myself and like I have nothing else but to do but talk to the Lord. Like it's it's just the truth. Like I have nothing else but to do. I have nothing else to do but to talk to the Lord. And that's while I'm at work, that is the time that he chooses to talk to me the most. And I told my boyfriend the other day, I was like, I don't know. Like I wish that he would stop as far as like as much as he does, because like I'm at work and like I'm trying to keep my composure about certain things that he's like telling me and having me pray for, that I'm like, you can't wait to do this when I get home. But when I'm at home, like my focus is not on prayer. My focus on getting somewhere and sitting down and dealing with AJ. But like I said, my prayer time is normally at work, and that's when that's the time that God chooses to like really speak to me and show and tell me things and stuff like that. And like my first encounter at work. Like, I've had encounters before work, but like now they just got more frequent. And my first encounter at work was like, I want to say it was in April, and God had me pray for someone really close to me. And I was like, Lord, and at that time they were not my favorite person. Like, I didn't want to, but I was like, Lord, I'll do it. I don't even know what you want me to pray. Like, what do you want me to pray for? Like, how do you want me to pray? So he's like, just pray. So I just started praying, and I was like, Lord, I really don't know what you want me to, how you want me to start this prayer off. And he was like, just pray. So I know I'm going to start transitioning with this color. It's called Royalty. This one right here, we're going to start that in our crease as our transition. But he was like, just pray. And I'm at work doing my job, and I just started praying, and I'm praying, but my mind is still like, Lord, I don't even know what to say. And so I'm stewing at work, and I come across this book, and it's on warfare. And I was like, and it was like how to pray, like for warfare. I can't really remember the name of the title, but that one, and it was a woman's guide to warfare. And I was like, okay, Lord. So then I got a little bit more comfortable with praying for this person. And like, all of a sudden, like, I got warm. And like, it's nothing, it was nothing crazy. Of course, I'm used to feeling, the power of the Holy Ghost and stuff like that. Like, I've done that, but that time it was so different. Like, I literally felt like this, like consuming fire, basically. Like, it just like consumed me. And then I'm praying, and I'm looking at my surroundings also as I pray, because I'm like, I don't want people thinking that like I'm, crazy. And so of course I'm still praying. I'm praying in my inner man, and then like the prayers start getting like, I just like tapped out, and it took me forever to come back down. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was so shooken up. Like, I called my mom. Like, when I got home, I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, yeah, she was like, that's how you know that you were in the right vein. You were praying in the right vein. And I was like, because my mom, if you know my mother, she's definitely an intercessor. And I know that mantle was passed down from her to me while she still operates in it. But like, I know that, that comes from my mom. My dad, he also is a prayer warrior as well. But like, I know for sure that I got that from my mother. And it stems from like me watching her growing up and praying in the Holy Ghost and all that. Like, she didn't just do it in church. She did it every morning. Now she does it like twice a day. So she's really committed. Like, she does it twice a day. But yeah, so that was like my first experience. Like, I was shook. I was like, Lord, I don't even know what that was. Like, I always be saying, like, I tease with my sister. I'm like, he's like the wrong sister, like wrong family member. Like, that's my sister and my dad's vein. Like, I don't want any of that. As far as like I have no problem praying, but like seeing things and about certain people, and then praying, and it's not always bad stuff. Like, I had another incident, or not incident, I won't call it incident. I had another situation to where a lot of times I dream a lot, and I've always been a dreamer, and thank God that my dad is a dream interpreter. Like, those who know my dad, especially from home, my dad used to do dream interpret interpretation workshops. And so I had a living dream interpreter, which was great. And I talked to my dad about it. My dream was, I had a dream. This was like a year ago. And I, like 2 Sundays ago, I basically lived out that whole first part of that dream. I lived out that whole first part of that dream. And like, what bothered me, I'm like, it's kind of like deja vu, but it's not deja vu because I've never done that before. So it was like, I talked to my dad about it, and he was like, it was definitely a night vision. And I was like, because I lived out the first half of the dream. I won't go into detail what the second half of the dream was, but the first half of the dream, I definitely lived it out. Like, I was walking up the stairs. It was a Sunday morning. I had coffee in my white cup. I was going up the stairs, and I was like, AJ, we gotta get ready for church. Now put your clothes on. And I got to the top of the steps, and then in the dream, that's when it switched to the other part of the dream. But when I actually was living out the dream, I lied to myself because I was like, Lord, I know for a fact that the second part of this dream is not about to happen today. But I talked to my dad about it, and he gave me clarity that, you know, that was definitely a dream. It was a night vision, and God doesn't always show, he doesn't show us everything all at once sometimes. And that the other part of that dream is going to come to pass, and it's near, because I've walked out the first part of that dream, so the second part is not far off. So, and that like kind of shook me up. I was like, Lord, why do you keep doing this to me? Like, I don't want to, you know, I never wanted to be a prophetic person. Like, I'm not deep. Like, you can ask anybody. I am the most undeepest person that you would ever come in contact with. And like, just knowing that, you know, God was showing me stuff like that, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I'm going into the She palette, and I'm going in the colors orange, and I think this is persimmon, I don't know, persimmon. Nice little orange color. We're gonna go further deepen or further warm up our crease with that. But yeah, I was like, and I'm using the same brush as well. I was talking to my dad about it, and I was like, I never wanted this. And like, he would have, like, the Lord would have me, like, I always would get like anxiety if God would have me tell somebody something. Like, there was a situation at church last year where the Lord gave me a word for my sister, and I was like, no. I was like, no, I don't want to tell her, like, because I was just scared. Like, I was like, what if, because I'm like, what if this wasn't even the Lord saying this? Like, what if it was like, you know, mean or whatever? Like, my biggest fear is like, I don't want to be off. Like, because if you're off, you're definitely, that means it's not from the Lord. You're talking out of yourself. And that's always like my biggest fear. Like, I don't want to be off, because that's embarrassing. Like, I know how I am when people have off words, and I'm like, I don't trust nothing they say. Like, I just don't know. I don't want to be that person. So, but like, I had like total anxiety. Like, I was like, Lord, I don't want to do this. And he had me do it anyway. And glory to his name, his precious name, that it was accurate, and that I wasn't talking out of the side of my neck, or that it wasn't just flesh. So, I know he speaks to me. It's just like, I don't, that's not something that I ever dreamed. Like, some people actually want that. Like, they want that mantle. They want God to speak to use them in that way. And I'm just like, no. You don't have to, like, but like, being a me walking in it has like really made me have to trust God way more, because I'm like, Lord, people know that I'm like them. Again, a lot of it is like, because I don't think people take me, because I'm a very goofy person. Like, people don't take me seriously. I'm going into my favorite, the chocolate palette, and I'm going to go in with these two dark colors over here just to deepen this up. But I'm goofy by nature, and I'm like, people are not gonna take me seriously. But like, even and me walking into this is just like confirmation, because I think it was, I don't know, I was definitely pregnant with AJ, and my boyfriend was like, we were at my sister's dinner. She had a birthday dinner, and like, something happened. Nothing bad happened, but like, we just started praying at like the table, and like, people, like, they were really going in. Like, it was like a low-key prayer meeting at Bravo. And he turned to me and he was like, "You're a prophetic intercessor." And I was like, huh? Which, it wasn't the first time I heard that. My uncle Mark from Sineski, he told me that when I was in high school, but just hearing it from my boyfriend was like, okay. And he's definitely, now that I'm, you know, have been taking my prayer life way more seriously, like, I literally can't go, if I go a day without at least sending God a prayer of thanksgiving, or, you know, letting God know I appreciate him in prayer, I just feel crazy. Like, I have to spend at least a few moments in prayer, or I just, you know, I feel like my day is just weird. And that, I remember one time my dad, he did like a series on prayer, and he said, you shouldn't just want a prayer life, but you should want a life of prayer. And for some reason, that always stuck out to me. Like, I always go back to that. Like, you don't just want a prayer life, but you want a life of prayer. And I think I'm definitely at that point to where I don't just want a prayer life, I want a life of prayer. And that is where I am, especially with what God is doing with me and those around me. Like, I know what he's going to be having me be a part of in the near future. It's like, it was bound to happen. And it's still scary, because it's not something that I ever wanted. Like, I tell people all the time, I ain't never want to be a preacher, never wanted to date a preacher, none of that. Like, I wanted to date a basketball player that loved the Lord, paid his tithes, and we was on a sat on the 4th or 5th row at church, and that was it. I didn't want none of that extra stuff. But, you know, of course, when we make plans, God laughs. He's like, nah. And he really has shown me, oh, I'm God, not you. So, yeah, like, that's just something that I've been really embracing, if you will. I just used Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer in the number 5. It's closer to my skin tone. So this one, and I really like these concealers. They're really full coverage. Like, I really like them. But this is 5. So what I've been doing, just to get off the subject for a quick second, what I've been doing, I've been changing up the way I do my foundation and stuff. Oh, and look at my nose ring. Like, it's finally settled. It's so cute. Like, it took it forever, because one time I was laying in bed and my son, he like kicked me, and on accident, of course, and my nose ring jumped up and it was bleeding, and I think it kind of keloided a little bit, but now it's finally done healing, and I love it. It's so cute. But I've been changing up a little bit how I do my foundation and stuff like that. I still normally do my eyes and my eyebrows first. Let's clean this up, son. First, do that first because I like doing my eyebrows after my foundation too. But this makes I just feel like my eyebrows stand out more this way. I like my eyebrows to be bolder. So I've been doing my contour first, then my concealer, then my foundation. So that's what we're going to do today. And I have a lot of I bought a lot of Juvia's Place stuff. So I'm going to be using I Am Magic concealer in 3 and 2. 2 is too dark by itself. 1 is extremely dark. I was like, OMG. And I always do this. Like, I always make myself to be darker in my mind than what I actually am. Because I think it's just because I growing up, like, people always said I was so dark skinned and blah, blah, blah. Which at this point, it is what it is. As my grandma always would say, darker the berry, sweeter the juice, honey. But, everybody. I thought I filmed a outro, but I didn't. So please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed today's